Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, as we continue our advance along the West Salin River. We're still a ways off from Dresden, but we're getting there. At least we're starting to move towards it. But that said, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and take care of Kaz's level up, which I completely forgot about last time around. Not much to say here. I think last time around I stated we were giving him weapon focus bite, but after checking my notes, we've actually got that penciled for level 9. Level 7, we're giving him combat reflexes. Granted, it's not the most exciting combat feat, but it is one that should come in handy, especially as we start leaning into the crit cascades, not to mention, of course, the whole knocking prone gimmick. And of course, as we've seen, a lot of enemies just like running right past our frontliners anyway, so this way we'll always have attacks of opportunity on tap. Anyway, let's push up and, Right, our army's currently out of movement point, so yeah, we'll swing by camp. Commander, we caught a suspicious lad on the road. He says he's an ally, and he's desperate to talk to you. Who knows who he really is? The young man before you is trembling from his wounds and exhaustion. His boots are in tatters, and if he had any weapons or armor, he shed them along the way. His clothes are torn, and his hair is wet, like he recently swam across a river. Blood oozes from the wounds on his chest and shoulders, and his skin is cracked and inflamed from the acrid water of the world wound. Commander, the man breathes heavily, and the words emerge as a whisper from his dry throat. My squad, ambushed, beyond the river. Help. Alright, someone want to get this guy a drink or something so we can move this along? The knight's wounds heal with the help of a magic potion. Taking a gulp of water, he catches his breath, snaps to attention, and begins again. Yaker and Kelly, Hell Knight of the Order of the Godclaw, under the command of Paralictor Regil Durenge. Our squad is under attack by demons far surpassing our number. Without your assistance, we are lost. Hell Knights. They've supported the Crusaders more than once in our battle against the demons. Despite their, Irabeth cringes, questionable reputation, we cannot abandon our allies in trouble. If they really are our allies, then, of course. It's just... Anevia looks Yaker over closely, from head to toe. I kinda think this isn't a knight at all. A real Hell Knight would be skinned alive for losing his infamous black armor. What we see here is a stranger without rank or insignia, who wants us to march to God knows where. Kinda smells like a trap to me. Okay, so what's going on exactly? Why do you need our help for this? Large creatures that attack from the air. Some are fighters, others are, at a guess, clerics with dangerous divine magic. They look like stone come to life. I am almost certain they are gargoyles. They fell upon us from the sky while we were setting up camp and at our most vulnerable, and they caught our forces at partial strength. The Paralictor had dispatched some of our troops as scouting teams. The flying beasts didn't fight us. They just fell upon us from the sky, grabbed our fighters, and either took them somewhere or threw them to their deaths. We were unprepared for that. Sure, and where's your squad now? Not far from here, beyond the river. It's not far for a single fighter who abandoned his armor and weapons. But we can't get across the river so easily. We'll have to take a detour. Even if we can save anyone, it will seriously delay our offensive on Dresden, and will give the enemy a chance to prepare. You heard her. We've got other places to be, so why exactly should we go out of our way to help you? Yaker looks at you, amazed. The Hell Knights are the formal allies of the Crusaders. After a pause, he adds, I cannot make promises on behalf of my command, but under the circumstances, you must be able to convince our Paralictor to join your army. Hell Knights in our army? That's just what we need. I don't know. What do you think about this, guys? Your companions look at their guest suspiciously. Hell Knights. With allies like them, we've no need for enemies. If it suited them, they'd abandon us to the demons without a second thought. But we're not like them, are we? We have to save them. Looks like a trap to me, but even if he isn't lying, Dresden is our goal. If our offensive is delayed, we won't get another chance to retake the city. The Hell Knights are heartless executioners. Saving people from the claws of demons is good cause in itself, but these people are doing everything they can to become just like the devils. Shaylin, forgive me, but I fear we should leave the Hell Knights to their fate and continue our offensive on Dresden. Do you recall Prelate Halrun? Well, picture an entire army of soldiers just like him. Do we need allies like that? If they die, I shan't shed a tear. We should help them, but only if they join our forces in return. We could use some fresh blood. Cam, you are like the world's least subtle vampire. Hell Knights? No, not for all the gold in the world. Don't you know what kind of people they are? One minute you're just going about your business, the next you're locked in the stocks, and there's a butcher in black armor standing in front of you. I don't know who these knights are, but if there are people suffering out there, then of course we have to help. It's what we came here to do, isn't it? The crow on her shoulder croaks resolutely, supporting her words. What? Nenio blinks a few times, baffled. This question has no scientific significance. What's interesting is how the water of the river poisoned by the world wound will affect this boy. With your permission, I'd like to examine him, or his corpse, in a few days' time. Thank you, Nenio. Useful as always. Okay, so by my count, that's actually a pretty even split. Especially if we count suit as a separate vote. Which, honestly, I see no reason why we shouldn't. It is the avatar or representation of Ember's patron. That aside, I know the Raiders have been waiting for this, so... Yeah, alright. We're in. Thank you, Commander. Our forces are here. The knight points out the location on your map. The situation is critical. Please, send your reinforcements as soon as possible. I will go ahead and meet you there. Alright, let's go have a quick chat with Forn, and then we'll be ready to head out. Also, hello, Anevia. I see you're living in my tent again. That's cool. Anyway. Hey, little one. They say you can do magic? An old silver-haired fighter sizes Ember up skeptically, apparently baffled to find such a young girl in the middle of the war. He's cradling his wounded arm, which has been hastily bandaged. Can you heal me? Of course. Ember whispers a spell and touches the bloody bandage. Thank you, that's so much better. The soldier rips off the blood-caked rags and strokes the healthy skin underneath them. How old are you? You're only a child. I have a granddaughter at home just like you. Oh, little girl, how did you end up here? What are you doing here in the thick of it with us? Ember gives him a light-hearted smile. I'm just like you. I came to the Thick so that the Thick wouldn't come to the other kids. Like your granddaughter. We'll all be. So little and yet more courage than some officers. The old man runs his rough hand over her hair, and she smiles at him again. The crow on her shoulder rubs its head on his hand like a cat. Talking to you takes a load off my mind. I reckon it's not just my arm you healed. The soldier leaves, shaking his head pensively. Ember waves happily, then turns around and notices you. Hi. Was that normal? Do they do that a lot? Ember shrugs. Demons keep hurting them. I keep healing them. But you know, it's surprising. So many soldiers come to me. They say I bring them comfort, that I give them strength. But I don't do anything like that at all. I only talk to them nicely. I'm just a feather-brained little girl. What if something I say is wrong? Maybe I should keep quiet. But I can tell that my words make them feel better. I guess I'm confused. Ember, I want to be supportive, but at the same time I have to keep in mind who we're playing here. Vex's altruism comes in strict moderation. Look, Ember, you know, you really can help people. I mean, we've seen that, but just remember, not everyone deserves your attention. There's nothing wrong with helping people. Just try not to get bogged down helping people who don't actually deserve it. But how can I tell who is worthy of what? What are you worthy of? Or me? How can I judge others if I don't even know about myself? Yeah, I probably just confused her even more. But we'll see where that goes. In fact, you know what? Let's go have a quick follow-up chat with Ember right now. I'm curious to see if that had any tangible effect on her behavior. Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment, before darting off again into the distance. Ember, long time no see. So, how are those new powers settling in? Powers? The girl tilts her head to her shoulder. What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned when the big gray house blew up? They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. Yeah, the funny tricks of how to more efficiently vaporize people with fire. You worry me sometimes, Ember. So, apparently I'm the new Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade. What do you think about that? The elf focuses her wandering gaze on your eyes, smiles, and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children of the street. Barefoot, hungry, scared. A step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich, like gods. But don't forget who you really are, behind the title. Yeah, I'm Vex. That's Kaz. Hey, do the soldiers still pay you visits? Even more than before. They come to me, ask me questions, wanting advice. I don't think I ever say anything clever, but sometimes it helps them. That's what matters, right? I don't know who is worthy and who isn't. Sometimes people do such horrible things. And I think, he couldn't have always been so bad inside, could he? Maybe someone decided he was bad and told him so, and he believed them. That's bad, isn't it? So I never reject anyone, just in case. Nice, okay. So she essentially completely disregarded what I said. Which is both predictable and also probably for the better. On the one hand, I do think she could stand to have someone help keep her grounded, but on the other hand, I don't want her to stop being Ember, so, you know. I'm fine with that result. Bourne? How may I help? You know, I got ambushed by Drow right after we talked. Quite a coincidence, that. A gloomy shadow crosses his face. He remains silent for a while, then says reluctantly, A few years ago, a set of demon worshippers was uncovered in Keonan. They were followers of Discari who had been brought together by his priestess, Anamora. As soon as the truth was revealed, a hunt for these evil zealots was called. They were all marked with the same brand of darkness as their leader, the wicked Kaelessa. The sect was soon destroyed, but some of the cultists managed to escape. I pursued them in order to eradicate their evil, root and branch. Sighing heavily, his lips curl in an expression of bitterness. It is a great shame that the children of a noble nation have besmirched themselves with this taint. And I would be grateful if this confession were kept between us. Interesting. Note that he started by saying that Anamora was the leader of this corrupt sect, but then he immediately switched off to calling Kaelessa their leader instead. I'm not sure if that's an intentional slip or not. But I mean, it is worth noting that the drows we encountered only mentioned Anamora. They didn't say anything about Kaelessa. Leoder. At any rate, let's hit the pause button real quick. I will offload all that gear we just pulled off those dead drow, and then we'll head back out. We'll be right back.
You became a paladin because some lady didn't wear a helmet one time? I suppose, fine, so you stole her helm, but come on, they're paladins, they're rich. Don't tell me there wasn't a spare helmet lying around someplace. And what about armors and all that?
I'm this close to forgetting that paladin code I swore to uphold. Hornhead. Take the hint, will you?
Yeah, that's probably not the best subject to be picking at, Waljeff. Oh. The commander becomes host to an anomalous force, and his dreams are filled with strange visions. He feels the space around him distort, and his sensory organs are flooded by false images, bred by distortions of light and air. Reality itself tries to expel the commander into some dark tunnel. At the other end, a grim figure awaits. Its body resists this crude attempt to wrench it from reality, but the unknown force finds a tangle in the commander's soul, one made of demonic rage and destructive desire. The stranger grabs at it and pulls, like a hunter reeling in a harpoon. Troubled by the sudden intrusion, the dark and ominous force, deep in the commander's soul, answers with a menacing growl. The commander stares intently at the ghostly figure. The darkness conceals the stranger's appearance, but something can be glimpsed. A massive set of bull's horns crowning a head, the tips glinting malevolently. Well, that sounds an awful lot like Baphomet. Vex tries to understand what's going on. However, the commander has never encountered anything like this before. He unleashes the dark and unbridled part of his soul. With a triumphant and savage howl, it breaks free and fills the commander's thoughts and senses. Its rage, like a burning spear, strikes along the dark tunnel to the one who dared trouble the commander. A heart-rending scream filled with pain and animal fear strikes your ears. The moment passes, and the attraction fades. The enemy has withdrawn, back to the shadows. The apparition recedes, leaving the commander wondering whether it was reality or a nightmare. Or perhaps both. I mean, the forces of the Abyss do have someone named the Spinner of Nightmares on their side. Anyway, as interesting as that was, there's nothing else to be done with it now, so let's get back out to the map and resume the Crusade. Hey, the Nameless Ruins. That's Nenio's thing. So we'll get to that a bit later down the line, but For now, I think we need to prioritize the reliable redoubt, which, of course, is where Paralictor Derenge and his Hell Knights are holed up. I don't think we have enough time to do the whole thing today, and I would prefer to keep it contained to a single episode if possible, so I think what we'll do instead is today we'll just focus on clearing out this chunk of the map. We'll knock out all these armies, take out that fortress, and clear the path. Maybe knock out an optional location or two. And that should get us to a good point where next time we can jump right into the reliable redoubt and see what's what with the Hell Knights. And then as a bonus, we'll also have cleared our paths to Chilly Creek and the Nameless Ruins, so we can tackle those right after we deal with the whole Hell Knight thing. How do we get to the ruins? What in the world? Okay, well, we're out of movement points, so let's kill some time with the main party. We'll go hit Moondance Meadow. Moondance Meadow. Here, the druids of Old Sarkarus, practitioners of the Green Faith, used to perform their sacred nighttime rites, dancing in the silver moonlight and offering up prayers to Mother Nature. Their bones can still be found in the sickly soil of the desecrated meadow, where for many decades one could only hear grunting, dying screams, and the cracking of torn flesh in place of music and laughter. Yes, that does sound nice. Alright, well, let's get in there. Alright, let's prep for combat. Nothing fancy, just a few basic buffs.
Oh, the waiting's numb.
Okay, let's do this. Oh, you know what? I may not have put up enough buffs. These things are pretty tough. Yeah, let's hedge our bets. Alright, here we go. No, they've got high reflex saves. They're cats.
Are we in trouble yet?
Not great. Oh. Okay, well, it said Vex was going next, but sure, why not? Let's shuffle Waljiff. We'll have Vex intercept this one. That's probably fine. I mean, he's not dead. Fall back.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
And positive energy channel. No, I moved 1 inch too far. Well, that's great. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it kind of is my fault. One moment.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Whew, I need to be more careful. Sorry about that. But, you know, we did make it through. No one died, so I guess it all worked out. Man, I had a really good plan there, too. If I just hadn't moved Aaron too far, we would have been fine. Cold iron. One of the rare ingredients we need to restore artifacts with a storyteller. Nice. And a +2 keen composite longbow. Nice. Nope, never mind. Unfortunately, we already have improved crit on land. And keen does not stack with improved crit, so we're actually better off sticking with a wicked longbow. Let's see what else we've got here. That's probably normal. Okay, let's head back out. We could hit Chili Creek, but I don't really want to do that today. We'll just head back to camp and chill out there for a while. Give our main army time to maneuver. Maybe. Yeah. We're already half an hour in. We'll just focus on crusading. Get ourselves all set up for the reliable redoubt rescue next time round.
If you're so afraid of going near the enemy, I could teach you how to shoot from a bow. True, it's pretty tough to aim when you're running away from the battlefield.
Whenever you decide to finally kick the bucket, give me fair warning is all I ask. If I'm going to be eating cave slime at your wake, I need to line my stomach good and proper first.
Glad to see we're all getting along. All right, let's go punch some demons. Sharpshooters first, or they'll kill our archers. Nice. And now the ghouls. Nuke the gargoyles. Lovely. Infantry's paralyzed. That's fine. Ghouls are just crowd control. They can't deal much damage on their own. Nicely done. That clears our path to the redoubt. And we've got 2 more armies down here. Oh yeah, we're not even close to being ready for that one. Alright, let's take out the rank 3, then we'll double back to the Nameless Ruin. We should have enough movement points for that. And that'll knock out all of the weaker armies on this side. We'll plug up this approach. And hold. Nice. Moving up. We need to head these guys off. That works. Heal. And we are done. After the battle, one of the soldiers noticed a half-effaced inscription on a nearby stone. What remained of the engraving led the Crusaders to a secluded cave, where they found a stash of miscellaneous relics that some selflessly devoted clerics had managed to rescue from fallen Dresden. They also discovered flasks of sanctified oil and boxes of reagents for rituals and sacred masses. It would appear the brave priests hid their sacred artifacts in one final attempt to save them from demonic threat. Well, good for them. We'll use that to recruit, like, one paladin. Ooh, and we will absolutely take Cure Wounds. That'll help keep our casualties down during tougher fights. Oh yeah, this should be easy. These guys are durable, but they can't really dole out much damage. But the whites can debuff, so we'll knock them out first. Trying to conserve spell points for tougher fights. Whites out. There we go. A corpse in a tattered scout's cape bearing the emblem of the Crusade was leading the undead squad. He battled on until he ran out of bolts, and desperately tried to conceal his crossbow with his own body, even when the soldiers were hacking off his limbs. Well, I mean, we did have to disarm him. Crossbow of Judgment. +2 heavy crossbow with reduced crit range. But if it threatens against evil or chaotic creatures, it automatically crits. I'd say that's a pretty fair trade-off. I might give that to Darren. He's currently rocking the +2 Oracle light crossbow. Let's start moving towards those other two. I figure we'll knock out those last two armies, and that should get us to a good breakpoint. Then next time we'll have a full episode, just for Regil Durenge and his Hell Knights. I think he deserves that. A unit of mercenaries serving Horgus Squirm has reached the troops with a chest full of gold coins, and a message from Sir Horgus to score more victories. Well, I certainly appreciate that. So what did he send us? Shield bearers, interesting. Not what I would have chosen myself, but they might come in handy. And we'll use that gold he sent us to go ahead and grab these guys too. We'll have them join up with our main force on the way to those last two armies. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And we're obviously not going in there just yet. We're just hanging out whilst our army does its thing. We could set up camp. Nah, that's too fiddly. We'd have to adjust the timer and everything. This is fine. Thankfully, there's no actual timer in Act 2, despite them making you think there is. It's all just event triggers. Very nice. And we'll park the shield men on our camp, just keep them out of the way for now. Ravaged campsite. Another ingredient node. Noted. We've got giant flies. Durable, mobile, and I believe they debuff. But they are not fireproof. Nice. So, not actually all that durable. The site of an old battle between the Crusaders and demons is still strewn with thousands of corpses. The stench of death hangs thick in the air, while the survivors lurch around the battlefield looting whatever they can. The dead, after all, won't need their trinkets and keepsakes anytime soon. Grim, but fair. And goodness knows, I certainly wouldn't want to leave it here for the cultists to salvage. Now this one might actually be tricky. We might get overwhelmed. But we'll give it a shot. We'll go heavy on this one. Can't take any chances. Nice. Shoot. Low end on that one. What's that? Infection. Okay, that's a stacking DOT. We'll need to make this quick. Fantastic. After driving away a swarm of demonic flies, the Crusaders discovered the remains of an unfortunate group of Mendevian knights. Their leader had a baldric with an emblem recognized by one of the soldiers. It was the crest of the infamous fallen knight, Melander Linz. Very intriguing. Crest of Melander Linz, the fallen knight. Melander Linz was one of the most notable and controversial figures of the Third Crusade. The debate still rages whether his valiant feats of strength and his willingness to make sacrifices in the name of the Crusade balance out the unholy crime that was exposed after a purge by the Inquisition. It was revealed that Melander Linz had been practicing the forbidden, dark arts of magic, turning this knowledge against the demons. Shortly after the discovery, Linz decided to let the debate about his dubious methods rage on without him, and secretly left Canabris in the dead of night alongside a group of like-minded deserters. Thereafter, they waged their own war against demons, tracking down and destroying small enemy groups. But ultimately, all the members of Melander Linz's squad fell in battle. Scouts discovered evidence that, with each passing year, Linz had been descending ever deeper into his private abyss of the dark arts. He would have sacrificed everything for victory. But the question still remains whether he was a hero or a traitor. Fascinating. That's your classic, do the ends justify the means scenario. Though it is made rather strange considering the Mendevian Crusaders attract all sorts of other questionable folks. I mean, they have working relationships with the Hell Knights, worshippers of Asmodeus, cultists of Geb, I believe. I'm pretty sure that there are at least 2 different necromantic kingdoms that are participating in the Crusades. But I suppose it's just a matter of bad timing. Melander Linz had the misfortune of being around during the Third Crusade, which is when the Inquisition was really going bananas, doing more damage to Galfrey's forces than to the actual enemies. Honestly, Melander probably made the best of a bad situation when he decided to go off on his own. He just avoided being bogged down in that whole mess and continued contributing to the Crusade, even if it was an ultimately doomed effort. Anyway, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of this unfortunate demon plague on Walgif, and we will pick up here next time, as we venture forth into the reliable redoubt and forge an ill-advised alliance. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
Take the hint, will you?